Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and this is Dell's new Inspiron 13 7000 2-in-1 series laptop. It's a 2-in-1 convertible style notebook with a 360-degree hinge, an Intel Core i5 or higher 8th generation processor, up to 16 gigs of RAM, and a solid-state storage device. And this particular model, the RAM is not upgradable, so what you get is what you're going to get. On larger models, Dell does allow you to upgrade the RAM, and the M2 SSD is upgradable in this particular model, but not the RAM, which is soldered to the motherboard. The SSD is going to be PCIe NVMe, and this particular model, which has is coming out in October 2nd of 2018, is going to have a starting price of $880. It borrows a couple of design cues from some of Dell's more expensive laptops. So this is sort of the higher end of the Inspiron series, which is really more of Dell's mid-range. But like Dell's XPS series, it now has relatively slim bezels around the sides. Now, if you compare it to the XPS 13, the bezels are actually a little bit larger here, but that allows for a camera above the display instead of below the display. So Dell calls this sort of a three-sided slim bezel. We've got left, right, and top bezels that are slimmer. Bottom one's a little bit on the thicker side. In addition to having a webcam that's above the screen, there's also far-field voice detection microphones that you can use for Cortana or Alexa voice activation. This model, as I mentioned, has an all-metal chassis, so it's the top is metal, the keyboard area is metal, and the bottom is metal, and it introduces a fingerprint sensor into the Inspiron lineup so that you can log in and turn on the device just by pressing in. This little thing over here is actually a sticker that you'll be able to remove. In terms of ports and functionality, we've got a USB Type A port here, a micro SD card slot, and a headset jack. And on the other side, we've got HDMI full-size, USB Type C, and a headset jack. And the XPS 13 is compatible with Microsoft's pen technology. So you could use a Surface Pen or a Dell pen or whatever on this device. It's got a 360-degree hinge, so you can flip it all the way around and use it like a tablet. You can prop it up and use it in tent mode, or use it in sort of stand mode here for watching videos or presentations or other things. So it's a pretty versatile little machine, and it's got a relatively thin and light design as well. It's not aimed at sort of the same premium category as the XPS 13. It's not quite as thin, it's not quite as light, but it does have some pretty decent spec options, including all the way up to a 4K IPS display if you want to sort of soup up all of the specs. The entry-level models are going to have 1080p displays, I think, instead of that. So we've got touchscreen, pen support, all-metal chassis, that camera, and actually, speaking of the camera, it's a little bit better than your typical webcam due to sort of new technology with noise reduction, although I think the noise reduction might be a little bit over-eager, so you can see what's happening here with the fluorescent lights behind me. So maybe it's not actually a little bit better, but it's a little bit more interesting than some of the typical camera experiences you're going to have. So anyways, that's a quick look at Dell's XPS 13 7000 series 2-in-1, which is going to be available in October for $880 and up. There's also a 15-inch model, which does have upgradable RAM. It has a regular sort of laptop-style SODIMM, and it's going to have, I think, some extra ports. So we've got HDMI, USB Type-C, and a headset jack over here, and two full-size USBs and a full-size SD card slot. Otherwise, it's pretty similar, but it definitely has that larger display. Also has support for pen input as well as finger input, and then there's actually a 17-inch model which does not support the pen, but comes standard with NVIDIA MX 150 graphics, has a numeric keypad, weighs probably something closer to 6 pounds. It's a much less portable device, but that sort of rounds out Dell's Inspiron 7000 2-in-1 series. The smaller model here with the 15-inch display is going to be available with up to a 4K display as well. And is going to be available with optional NVIDIA MX 150 graphics, but they come standard on the 17-inch model. So that's a look at the Inspiron 7000 2-in-1 series launching in October with starting prices of $880 and up for the 13-inch model, $880 and up for the 15-inch model, and $11,000 and up for, or $1,100 and up, not $11,000, that would be a lot of money, $1,100 and up for the 17-inch version. This is Brad Linder with Liliputing.